According to quantum physics, a particle vibrating from your sound box when you speak can affect a molecule inside a star at the edge of the universe instantly. This is what's known as quantum entanglement. The greatest illusion of the universe is the illusion of separation. Do not say your voice carries no weight. Your words are being absorbed by the edge of infinity. May you create as you speak.
All right. Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. All right, Nero. Peace, everybody. It's Professor Griff, and of course, this is Sirius Mindz RNTV, and just doing a sound check right now. Lovely lady 37177. Hey, can you hear my voice? Peace, family from London. Nero. All right. Peace all the way from London. Matter of fact, I will be in London in a minute. All right, Troy Scott, can you hear my voice? Am I on? Am I on? Work with me. Talk to me, fam. Can you hear me? We're doing a sound check right now. Give me a thumbs up, peace sign, black power fist, something. Let me know that I'm within the sound. You sound loud and clear. Give thanks. Really appreciate that. Blue pill, sir. I'm doing my show right now. I got to hit you right back. All right, peace, good bro. Mr. Red and Blue Pill. All right. Greetings from Detroit, Mr. Austin Jacqueline. All right. Mr. VIP 317. What's the Indianapolis? All right. Mark X, what's up? All right. All right, fam. This is Professor Griff. Once again, I'm Black on the airways. Thank y'all very much for all the support. January. My partner got awarded this contract that he's been doing, so he added the rest of us on, and we actually been doing a serious. We've been doing some serious educating in the Portland school district. All right, so shout out to Noni, shout out to everyone in the Portland, Oregon school districts. Beautiful people, beautiful teachers. So it's a beautiful thing. All right, and then of course y'all already know February is Black History Month. So normally I don't come on in February anyway. March I was supposed to be overseas. That didn't happen because I had a death in the family. And shout out to everyone for your condolences. Really appreciate that. All right. You know, when your great aunt checks out of here and goes back home, becomes an ancestor, you know, it's something that you have to sit still for a minute. But anyway, in the meantime, between time, we are Black here. This is my first time on in a minute. And it's going to be a very exciting show. We're going to be talking about women's health and feminine products. We're having a beautiful conversation tonight with Miss Moore, Tiarra Moore. She's probably a little bit taller than me, but y'all don't worry about that. We're going to straighten that out in a minute. So without any further ado, let me bring my guest to the stage. All right, you should be on, Miss Moore. There you go. Let me see if I can hear you. How are you? All right, I don't know what happened to you, but you was on, but you're gone now. All right, so we're going to be talking about this feminine. We're going to be talking about feminine products. We're going to be talking about this whole idea of women's health. It's a beautiful thing, and I think it's a concerning thing. For me, it's a concerning thing. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if all right, let me add it. There you go.
Hello.
How are you? You all right?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Trying to be like you. I like your step and repeat.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're going to get this started. So we're going to be talking about women's health and feminine products. We're probably going to veer off into some things.
Yes.
We're going to try to jam pack this hour so people can take little bites and bits of it, and just kind of take what they can take. All right. So while I'm getting my notes up, I want you to introduce yourself to the people, let them know your company, let them know how to contact you, and let them know exactly what it is that you do.
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me and allowing me to share this platform with you. This is just such an amazing experience and opportunity. So thank you so much for that.
Oh,
but for the public, my name is Tiarra Moore. I am a native of Buffalo, New York. I've been in the Atlanta area for over 20 years. So I guess you can say I am an honorary peach. Yes. But I'm also a science educator, an award-winning science educator in the public school system. And I just love helping people. I love helping people. And I got into the business of health and wellness because I saw a need. And there's a lot of, uterine problems that run in my family. I've had my own uterine problems. And so seeing the uterine problems and period problems that my students were facing, keeping them from going to class, keeping them from coming to school. And I was like, okay, we have to do something about it. So that's how Save Our Jewels was born. And Save Our Jewels has a double meaning because the woman is the jewel. Mm-hmm. But, down below the vaginal area, that's the jewel too. So you saving both of the jewels. Okay. And I can be found on Instagram and Facebook at Save Our Jewels. And my website is saveourjewels.com.
Okay. Now this is a very interesting thing simply because you and I just met the other day.
Yes.
And I'm one of those kind of individuals, and I think my wife would tell you, if I'm in the room, I'm going to everybody's table. I'm meeting everybody. We talking. I'm going to see what you have. I'm going to see what you're selling. I'm going to see what you're pushing. I'm going to see what you're at. And I always do that because I'm a people person. When I step in the room, you might not know I'm there, but I'm there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And if I could use my platform, you must know Erica and Glenda.
I do.
Okay, yeah. I think we gave them the wrong link, but they can listen. They good. But anyway, so I think when I'm in the room, I want to know what people are doing. I want to know where people are at. Are we just inviting vendors in to come set up to say and do whatever? And it's a beautiful thing that Naomi, she invites people that are about the business, about the people business.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing that she invited you and a few other people that I've met that were vending that day. So we're gonna dive right into this thing. So my first question is this: when I went over the information that you sent me, as you was running it down at your table, what is, now I'm gonna get back to that question. You said that thing down there. I want to talk about what we call it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, simply because there's a lot of names that rappers call it.
Right.
They beating it up, they splacking it, they hitting it, they all these kind of derogatory, negative, harmful,
absolutely
kind of terms. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I want you to tell the people what is the problem so we can work through and develop the solution. Think, what is the problem so we can work towards a solution?
I think that a lot of the problem is just awareness and education. Just not being aware and cognizant of what you're putting on your body, what you're putting in your body. And, we'll go to the grocery store and a lot of people will read the labels on their, whatever they're buying, whether it's some chips or some type of breakfast food, some beverage. But how often are we wondering about the ingredients of our feminine care products? Not many people think about it. They don't think to look at the label of the feminine wash that they're picking up or look at the warning labels on the tampon box, look and see what's in that spray or that douche or those wipes. It never really comes to mind. And it's just like, I see this commercial. Oh, that product looks like it's good for me. Let me go ahead and buy it. Not realizing that they can be putting something on their body that's super duper harmful. So that's one of the reasons why I like to vend, because I not only sell products that are safe and healthy, but I provide the education as well, and let them know, this is why I'm selling this product. I don't want you to just buy it just to be buying it. I need you to know why you're buying it. And I need you to know why you need it. And I need you to know why you should share it with other people. I always tell people one share could save a life. Right. So I think it goes back down to, just awareness and education.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my moderator, Miss Kwan, as she's in the building. She's going to moderate for us, because a lot of times when I come on, we get them other people that want to come on and try to take the conversation to the left. Kwan is here to make sure that ain't going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm sure she want to save her jewels also. Anyway.
Let's save it.
Okay. So now,
yes,
that brings me to my next question. How are people making the transition from what you're selling, what you're talking about, the information you're giving them, from what they're doing to what you're saying is safer, is better, is healthier?
And it's a work in progress, and it's a struggle. I'm going to say that it's a struggle getting people to make the switch, because it's a mindset change, right? And it's also a habit change, because it's just a habit. You're going to get your groceries anyway at the store. Oh, let me go ahead and pick up my pads, or let me pick up my penny liners while I'm here. It's just getting them to make a habit switch and a mindset switch. So it's a struggle, even with people who do buy. I talk to people, they buy, and they're like, oh yeah, I need this. And then I'm like, 2 months down the line, I'm like, okay, I call them. I haven't seen you make a purchase. You all right? What's going on? Oh girl, I just went ahead and just went and got it from the store. And so we got to get people in that habit, and I try to make it easy, because I have an auto shipment program. I'm like, you could just sign up for auto ship. You don't even have to worry about, running out. You could just have it come to your house automatically, But it's really just a mindset shift, and even trying to pull people away from tampons, because people don't realize how dangerous and harmful tampons actually are, and how they actually work against what the woman's body is trying to do during menstruation. So when we're on our cycle, that's a cleansing process for us, So of course the blood is coming out, uterine lining is coming out, but mucus is coming out, bacteria is coming out, any other waste products that the body is trying to get rid of, it's coming out during our period. And so when a woman wears a tampon, she's plugging the waste products that the body is trying to get rid of, she's plugging it in her system.
Right.
And then not only that, when she pulls the tampon out, we're leaving microscopic tears in the vaginal canal. We're leaving abrasions. Wow. So that can lead you open to more infections. And then you also run the risk of getting toxic shock syndrome, which is a bacterial infection. Wow. There is a model named Lauren Wasser. She lost both of her legs due to toxic shock syndrome. Tiffany Haddish, she came public. At 13, she almost died from toxic shock syndrome. Wow. From the tampons. And there's even a warning label on the box. It's like, warning, this can cause this infection. Right. But, people still wearing them. And I know people have their different reasons. But just trying to get people to break away, from those habits, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. So it's just something that, we just kind of repeatedly just work at. Doing the follow-ups even after people purchase, and trying to get people to make that healthier switch.
Oh, okay. Quan put it in the comments. Johnson & Johnson has a class action lawsuit against them because of their cancer-causing products, particularly with women.
Absolutely.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah, and see, a lot of these, and I'm so glad that things are coming to light, about the toxicity of a lot of these products. They cause so much harm. And if you don't mind, I can just run down a few. The list is long, so right. I'm not going to say the whole list. Right. But if I could just talk about a few of the main ingredients that are in some of our conventional products, especially pads, if I could just educate on that just for a little bit.
Please do.
So most pads that are made, they're made from an absorbency system that's made out of cellulose. Cellulose comes from the cell walls of plants and trees. Okay. It also has a polymer in there to create this absorbency system. But a lot of times that polymer is made out of petroleum. And petroleum is harmful to women's health, and it's also harmful to the environment.
Right.
They're also have a plastic top and bottom layer. Plastic does not breathe.
Right.
And we know breathability is important for the vagina. Otherwise, it will smell. We may get infections, yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis. It creates a very hot, moist environment that's a breeding ground for microorganisms, right? But then also those products are bleached with chlorine bleach. And because of that bleaching process, this chemical called dioxin is produced that causes cancer, developmental problems, and reproductive problems. And then in many of the conventional pads, it's even some of the tampons, you have styrene in there. Okay, so that's a product that is used to make plastics, paints, synthetic rubbers, protective coatings and resins. I already talked about the dioxin. I also want to add dioxin causes damage to the immune system and interferes with your hormones.
Right.
Too. We have chloroethane, which is also called ethyl chloride. It is a known carcinogen. It causes cancer. In large amounts, it can cause lack of muscle coordination. We have acetone in there. You know, all the women know we go to the nail salon, we use acetone to take off our nail polish, but you also use acetone to strip wax off the floor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And this is on the tampon?
So these are the ingredients that have been found when they have been tested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some of the ingredients. Chloroform, we already know the movies. You put the chloroform on a rag, you knock the person out. But chloroform causes liver, thyroid, and kidney cancer in animals. We also have toluene, which is another known carcinogen. Causes a headache, skin irritations, dizziness. So you have all these crazy things in there. Chloromethane, that causes liver and kidney problems. So all of these chemicals have been tested, proven to be in conventional products, including the leading brand. I'm not going to say the name, but the leading brand that most people use that's making billions of dollars a year.
Right.
These things have been found in the feminine care products. So Johnson & Johnson is on the list, but I bet you soon we will start to see some of these sanitary napkin companies coming under fire as well, because of all of the chemicals, the toxic chemicals that they contain.
Right. So let me ask you something. So mom to daughter, auntie to niece, is this information being passed down in the family to the friends?
Unfortunately, I would say, in some communities, I would say yes, in some communities, because I do run into a lot of people who are aware. But even many of the women, the grown women that I run into, a lot of them they don't even know. I run into a lot of grown women and they have no clue that toxic feminine care products are on the shelves.
Right.
They're like, well, how is this even legal? Right. A lot of times they ask that, well, how is this even legal? Why is this on the shelf? If it's, could be so harmful, but they're not regulated. Menstrual products are not regulated by the FDA.
Wow.
So they're just allowed to kind of put things out. Of course, they do have to have certain safety standards in their manufacturing facilities, but in terms of FDA regulation, there is none. There's no accountability.
But what is the regulatory commission or the organization that is supposed to regulate that? Who are they? FDA?
There is none. There is none. None.
Okay, so we know if it's none, we know that it's negative none in the Black community.
Absolutely.
So then where do Black women get this information from? And Ananda says, what are the other alternatives? So where do we get the information from, and what are the other alternatives?
Well, you get the information from, staying connected to wellness communities. Of course, people like me who sell natural products. You have all type of Facebook groups, people who are into holistic medicine, natural cures and remedies, those holistic types of groups. You definitely want to stay connected to those type of people, because those type of people, including myself, we're aware of these type of things, and we try to educate as much as possible on it. And let me say something too about the mother to daughter connection, because what fascinates me is sometimes when I'm vending, I'll have a woman say, "Oh, well, I don't have a period anymore." And they'll walk away. And I'll grab them. Wait a minute. Wait. I'm pretty sure you know somebody who does have a period.
Right, exactly.
Right? Oh, yeah, I have a daughter. And I'm like, well, why did you buy this for your daughter?
Right.
You know, and so, like I said, it's just like a mindset thing, but you definitely want to stay connected to people in the wellness community. Now, of course, on my website, I have lots of great organic products. I don't sell anything with toxins, artificial colors, flavorings, dyes, nothing. In a brand, a 100% Black-owned brand, if you don't mind, I would like to talk about,
go ahead.
is Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins. So this is a 100% Black-owned sanitary napkin company.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an ambassador for that company, and we have pads as well as penny liners. They are 100% plant-based, no plastic, made of organic cotton. They are also therapeutic. So many of our users, and I'm not making any medical claims, but just based on the wonderful testimonies we get from our users, their cramping is either significantly going away or reducing. Their period days are shortening, heavy bleeding is shortening. They're not having the odor or the discomfort. They're having a nice, comfortable period experience.
Right.
And that's by design. Our product is biodegradable. Our product is breathable. It's safe, it's comfortable, it's very thin, so discreet, but it's 10 times more absorbent than the brands you're going to find in the store. Right. So people who use tampons, a lot of people, they say, well, I don't like using tampons because either I bleed too heavy for a pad, I don't like feeling wet. And I'm like, okay, well, I got your solution right here, because our product is super absorbent, it's thin and comfortable, it's reliable. You're not going to be leaking through your clothes, because I've had those days, dealing with fibroids, right? Having all these accidents at work, and that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, and it just really does something to you mentally, just to have to go through that. So just not even having to deal with the mental anxiety and anguish of, oh my God, am I leaking? Am I bleeding too heavy? We give you the comfort knowing that you don't even have to worry about that. Safe and reliable product.
There's an artist that was on stage right in the middle of her show. It happened to her. And some of the women were smart enough to cover down. Dancers got in front of her and they came and wrapped something around her and Musician took over. She went and changed and came back. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. Raheem Whitehead says, wondering why our girls cramping is so bad. You understand what I'm saying? So this whole idea of having your menses early, and then, well, this is an adult show. We can talk. I'm grown.
Okay.
Is it uncomfortable, borderline, not safe to have sex when these things are going on, known and unknown to the woman? Like, if she doesn't know, let's just say she doesn't know that something's going on down there. Should she be having sex? Because now he puts on a condom, which makes it worse, because the whole condom thing with those chemicals is triggering something. The chemicals are meeting in the womb now, in the vagina, and something ugly is kind of happening. They break dancing and shooting crap and smoking weed, doing whatever in the womb now, and some other stuff is going on. So what could you say about that situation? He has a condom on. Her stuff is not right because of the tampons and the other stuff. Now they're having sex. What happens now? Talk to me.
Yeah, and also to kind of bring some education to that too, they do make condoms that are more safe, that have less chemicals in that too. So, people have to really just be their own advocates and look for healthier alternatives, because sometimes it's not going to be smack dab in your face. Sometimes you're going to have to put in a little extra work and look for those things. So those things do exist. But I mean, that's kind of debatable, because, some women say, some women like having sex on their period. They say, hey, it helps me with my cramps, or it helps me relax, or,
Yeah,
It's kind of controversial, but
I'm
you
trying to
definitely,
my facial expressions, my body language.
it happens. It
yeah.
does happen. But you definitely are open as you're bleeding like that, you definitely are open yourself up. Is you are more sensitive, for sure. But some people
Okay.
they
So
do
now
it.
here's a question. When I had a conversation with you later on, I'm just saying to myself, the experiences that I've had. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you there and you're going through your little thing, the affectionate aspect of, whatever it is that you're trying to do, and you're smelling like Chanel number 9 or whatever the hell down there, those fragrances hurt or help?
You should not be using any fragrances down in your vaginal area.
Say that
None.
again. You need to say that again.
You should not use any fragrance in your vaginal area, period. A lot of those fragrances have endocrine disrupting ingredients. They will throw off your pH balance. They will disrupt your hormones. So you definitely should not. And that's another thing. A lot of these feminine care products, they have fragrances and dyes in them. Like, you have to read your labels. Right? A lot of these feminine washes, you look at the back. I'm just going to say one. Summer's Eve, one of the most toxic feminine care products. They have so many toxic chemicals, and then now you're adding the synthetic fragrances. Now, if you're going to use something that has fragrance, if it comes from organic essential oil, that's one thing, that's safe. But when you're adding the synthetic elements into it, that's a no-no. You shouldn't be spraying anything down there, because I know they sell the vaginal sprays. You should not be spraying anything down there unless it's like a mixture of like essential oil with the tea tree and stuff like that. You should not be doing that. Yeah.
Michelle wants to know, what websites can we purchase your products? Please type it in and tell us so we can go and support you.
Okay, so my website is saveourjewels.com. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the comments. Saveourjewels.com. So I have a lot of organic products. I mean, stuff with just about everything you need. But I do have the menstrual products, the pads and the panty liners. I do have the vulva wash. Yes, you should not put anything inside of your vagina, but your vulva, the outside, does need to be clean with a mild cleanser. So I know there's kind of some controversy online about that. If you say, oh, you shouldn't be putting nothing down there, you just use water. Okay, but you have to remember your vagina is very close to your butthole. Okay, so you do need to clean it on the outside with a mild cleanser. Now, the inside is the vagina. Some people confuse the vulva, which is the outside, with the vagina, which is the inside. So yes, nothing goes on the inside because it's a self-cleaning mechanism going on there, but the outside does need to be cleaned with the mild cleanser. Yeah, so I do have products for that as well.
I didn't see a thing come up in the chat.
Oh, it didn't come in?
No, it didn't come in the chat. The next question I have for you while you're doing that is, can you give us a timeline? Because once upon a time, we didn't do these things. We didn't have to rely on the same people that wouldn't allow us to have ownership of our own bodies. Now they're concerned about whether or not we have a period or not. You understand what I'm saying? Whether or not we have healthy sex habits, i.e. is toys sex, because that's a booming business. They're sticking all kind of stuff up in them that light up, twirl around, spin, talk to you, whatever the hell. You understand? Well, I'm not saying from experience. I'm just saying. Is sex toys, would that affect the situation that you're talking about?
I would say the lubricant that is used with sex toys, yes. And I did a live about that some time ago. Because some of the lubricants that people use with the sex toys contain a lot of toxins. So you have to, with everything you buy, read your labels. Read your labels. Yeah.
Okay, so
Mhm.
Soleil says, and essential oils are not safe for regular use. They are really meant to be used as a natural treatment for certain maladies of the yoni, but essential oils for daily use are no. She says, and my question to that is, are yoni steams good, healthy? Are they good? Can they kind of wash away some of this madness that's going on down there?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have gotten well, when I know a lot of people use yoni steams for treatments of like fibroids, for cysts, to treat dysmenorrhea, which is excessive bleeding. So they're wonderful for that. They're wonderful for that. Yeah.
Okay, so now give us this timeline of chemical testing. When
Yeah.
did this? Can you give us a timeline on when it happened and what was the condition of Black people when this timeline started of this? I don't know whether it's tampons or pads or whatever.
Yeah, so there's and I encourage everyone to go to this website. And I don't know why I can't connect to the chat for some reason. But Raheem, any of my people that's listening, if y'all can put my website in the chat for me. But there's a website called womensvoices.org.
Womensvoices.org. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a nonprofit organization, and they do testing on a lot of different household products, feminine care products, personal care products, laundry products, just a lot of stuff that you use in the home and for personal care. And so I really appreciated the study that they did on the feminine care products, because they tested pads, panty liners, they tested tampons, menstrual cups, and also period panties. And they tested them just to see what toxic chemicals they found. So if you all go to that website and go to the resource section, you're going to see the timeline, and it is so eye-opening. Like, you all really, really need to look at that and see all of the craziness that they found in those products, even menstrual cups. And I know with menstrual cups, they are more environmentally friendly, but even some of those menstrual cups do contain toxins. So like with everything, you just want to really research what you're putting on your body. And especially if you're inserting something into yourself, right, you definitely want to make sure you know what you're doing with that.
All right, cool. Kwan says, if you say your website, she'll type it in the chat. Say it real slow.
Okay, it's saveourjewels.com. So that's SAVEOURJEWELS.com. Okay. Save Our Jewels. Thank you so much.
All right. I have the timeline in front of me. It says 2002. DeVito and Schechter, is it? Products, 4 brands of tampons tested, chemicals detected, dioxins and furans. What's furans? What's that?
So furans is very similar to dioxins that causes the cancers and the developmental and reproductive problems. Also disrupts hormones as well.
Okay, then 2005 at Archer products tested, 7 brands of tampons, chemicals detected, again dioxins and furans. In 2013, Women's Voices of the Earth, Kim Fatale, potential health effects of toxins, chemicals, and feminine care products. 2014, Women of Voices again, testing 4 different always brand pads for volatile organic compounds. All right, chemicals detected. Now these words are so daggone long and confusing. 19 syllables in this one. Methane,
chloromethane,
and chloromethane, chloroform, acetone, and
styrene. Yeah,
right, exactly. Styrene.
Yeah.
Okay, then from 2014 to 2015 in Indonesia. I was going to ask you about third world countries. Now I know if America is supposed to be leading in a lot of different areas as far as being a civilized nation. Can you imagine what they're doing on the continent of Africa? What they're doing in places like Indonesia and other places?
Absolutely.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah. Yeah, basically where you were headed, because we already know that there is kind of a mission to kind of destroy for lack of a better word, some of those communities, especially, African communities, there's kind of a collective and deliberate efforts to poison and pollute. So yeah, if we're getting this trash, you already know that they're also getting trash, maybe even worse.
Right.
And there's no regulation here. Many of the other countries, there's no regulations, because like in India, for example, I think their products are labeled as like textile materials or something like that. So there's no regulation at all. And then also, if you think about the environmental regulations as well, some of those environmental regulations are a lot looser in some of those countries as well. So, yeah.
So just right off,
it's kind of bad all the way around.
Right off the dome, disposing of these particular products, is it dangerous to the environment?
Well, yeah, because a lot of them are made out of materials that don't biodegrade. And that's one thing I'm thankful about, our products with Rain is they're biodegradable. Even the packaging is recyclable. So nothing is really going to waste. Right. But if you're using plastic, plastic takes many, many, many years to break down. That's not something that just breaks down like paper or like cotton. That's decades that it takes to break down. So.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So it definitely adds to the problem with the landfill. Yeah.
Okay. So family, we're going to open up. You want to take some questions real quick from the audience? Ms. Moore, you want to take some questions real quick?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, family. So put your questions in the chat. I'll kind of read them off. In the meantime, between time, the Rain products, they can get them from your site?
Yes, saveourjewels.com. So you're going to see a link. A heading, you're going to see a heading that says health and wellness. And then you're going to see a link right under that says Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins. Right. They're all organic, plant-based, all natural, super absorbent. I really think that you all are going to love them. 100% Black owned. They are amazing. I would not wear anything else at all.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, let me tell you how powerful those pads are. So I have a very faithful customer. She lives over in the United Kingdom. She has endometriosis. She has endometriosis, she has fibroids, and she has adenomyosis. She's been using the Rain Pads for about 4 years. Before using the Rain Pads, she was in extreme pain. She doesn't have any pain at all after wearing the pads. And so now she has other people in the endometriosis community wearing the product. So she'll order from me maybe about 60 packs of pads a month, and I'll ship them over to her, and then she'll distribute. But she came to the United States about 2 weeks ago, and she said, she was like, I'm not leaving this country until I come to the headquarters where y'all sell these pads and meet the CEO. I was like, okay. So that's how passionate she is and how grateful she is about the product and how much they have helped her.
Right.
Yeah, but they're amazing.
Right. It says, Soleil was talking about the breakdown of the plastic. She says, indeed, it takes hundreds of years to break down plastic. Nero from the UK wants to know, Sister Tiarra, do you ship to the UK?
I do. And definitely connect with me on Instagram because depending on how close you are to my customer that's over there in the UK, you may be able to link up with her just depending on how close you are, because I always send her like a stack of pads and she's able to kind of get it out to people in that area. So definitely connect with me on Instagram.
Right. Now, what could people actually do? How could they take action? What could they do? What can the individual that's hearing this saying, wow, Tiarra Moore is really dropping this. I want to be able to take this and talk to my girl group, my women's group in the church, or a rites of passage group that women have to go through, a sister circle. Can you give us her IG to type in the chat? Soleil says, give us your IG to type into the chat.
It's Save Our Jewels.
Just Save Our Jewels?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So my Instagram and Facebook are also Save Our Jewels.
Where can women, let's just say Soleil has a group of women and she wants to have these women pass this on to their daughters and their nieces and their cousins. Where can they go get the information other than saveourjewels.com can they go to the other site, womensvoices.org?
Yeah, they can definitely go to Women's Voices. I can also come and speak. I love doing that. You know, I'm an educator, so I love coming to speak. So anytime you all need me to come and speak to a women's group or speak to a group of girls, whether it's on hygiene or, you know, just on the information I talked about today, I would love to do that. But womensvoices.org has a treasure trove of information. I mean, just the stuff I talked about today is like not even cracking the surface of what they have in terms of information. So I would say that is a wonderful starting point right there, that you can always, you know, lean on me for a resource as well. I would love to come and speak to anybody as well.
Okay, so now you had some charts up on an easel. I'm like, damn, this sister came ready. you put your glasses on, you took out the pointer. I'm like, okay, sis, let's just talk. Here's my number. Call me. Let's make this thing. What was on those charts? Because you had graphs, you had a pointer, you had a whole highlighter, you had talk to me.
Yeah, but the main thing I had there was that timeline, the timeline that you were looking at on womensvoices.org. That was the main thing that I had on there. Just to show how many toxins are in the pads. And that's just the pads and the tampons and the menstrual cups and the period panties. We haven't even gotten into the wipes, the sprays, the douches, the feminine washes. I mean, it gets deep. It gets deep. And, you know, women don't douche. Shouldn't be doing that.
You mean they don't or they shouldn't?
Should not.
So vinegar and olive oil and Dove and some of that other stuff, no. They shouldn't go to the car wash and just spray it. No, just none of that. Okay, you got to talk to me about that because
so it's throwing your pH balance off and your vagina. So and it's not just switching to healthy products and non-toxic products. It's also about diet. Right. It's also about drinking a lot of water, you know, your healthy juices, limiting the alcohol. It's a whole system, right? It's a whole system involved. But when you're doing all of those things correctly, you know, your vagina is a self-cleaning organ. You know, it takes care of itself. It doesn't need all that other stuff inside of it, you know, throwing off the flora and the fauna that's inside of there, because there are microorganisms that live in there, and not all microorganisms are bad. You know, some are there to help. So you're putting these things in there, you're killing them off. You know, now the balance is off. And now you're wondering why you're getting infections, and you're wondering why you're itching, and you're wondering why you're smelling, you know, because you're throwing off the natural balance of the microorganisms that live there. You know, they're there to do a job, you know.
What's the reason why women do douche? What's the reason that they douche?
A lot of them just misinformation. You know, mama douched, grandmama douched. You know, you see it on the TV. And a lot of these, and if let's talk about the marketing, a lot of toxic products are purposefully marketed to women of color on purpose. Right. So now you have the marketing in there, and then you have what mama and grandmama did, even though it's not necessarily right, but it's being passed down because they didn't know no better, you know? So now everybody's kind of doing the same thing, but the education is what's going to break the cycle, you know?
Is that the start of what I keep hearing about yeast infections? I think Quan mentioned it earlier. What causes that? Throwing the pH balance off?
Yeah, because because you have a balance of bacteria and yeast in your body, and so when one grows too much, you know, then you have an imbalance. So certain things that you eat, certain things that you come in contact with, like whether it's soap or body wash, feminine wash, you know, douches, you know, even things that you drink, you know, so for some women, alcohol, you know, so it's, you know, you got to just kind of watch.
Okay. So if this is not checked, what's the worst that could happen?
I mean, besides infections, you mean?
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen if they just said, okay, I'm going to just stick with what my mama's mama was using. It worked for her. So I think it'll work for me. I'm good. Like,
well, you know, you know, a lot of these products, and it's not just the sanitary products, because it is relaxers. We know like fibroids are tied to chemical relaxers, and a lot of those hair care products, you know, that they sell in like the Chinese beauty supply store, full of toxins, right? So you have different things, right? The hair care products, skin care products, you got the diet, all that stuff. But a lot of those toxic feminine care products are linked to cancer, cervical cancer, uterine cancer, are linked to fibroids, are linked to cysts. And if those things go unchecked, then of course, you know, if your cervical cancer goes unchecked, if your uterine cancer goes unchecked, you know, there could be a terrible, terrible outcome,
Right.
you know, from that. And even with fibroids, you know, because I used to have fibroids. My mom had fibroids. Many of the women in my family had fibroids. Many of the women in my family had to have hysterectomies. And that's one of the reasons why I got into the feminine care business, because of the suffering of so many women in my family, you know, and being forced to have hysterectomies because of their uterine problems, you know. And like I said, even seeing some of my girls at the school just suffering, I'm like, wait a minute, we got to do something about this right here.
Where did you start? Where did you start?
Well, I started first with educating myself. That was my start.
Okay.
And then researching and just finding what is out there that is going to help. You know, and that took some time. You know, that took some persistence. But that's where I got my start. And then, you know, I just tried my best to just spread the word, you know, and I, you know, for some women, they may keep using them all their lives and nothing may happen, you know, but that's not the story for everybody. And I would say, why take the risk? You know, why take the risk? You know, switching to something natural, healthy, just having an overall health and wellness plan. That's really the way to go, to just live optimally. But, you know, like some people say, well, you're going to die of something. I'm like, okay, well, if that's how you feel, you know, ain't more I can say. But, you know, I try to at least put the information out there, and he who has an ear, let him hear.
Right.
If the shoe fits, wear it. If not, knock it off. You know, I do my part, you know, and hopefully people listen. A lot of people do listen, but you still have some people that are like, I'm just okay with what I'm doing. And, you know, that it is what it is. But you know, you just try as much as possible.
Who would have known that baby powder or the toilet tissue or certain clothes that you wear? Who would think that they would, not intentionally, but knowing that there's certain chemicals that they're using, mass produce these things for mass consumption?
Right.
Who would think that? You're just like, okay.
Yeah.
You understand
that money and that greed, that's a driver of many things. You know? The love of money is the root of all sorts of evil, as the saying goes, you know. So people do a lot of nasty, evil, dirty things for money. You know, and they'll know how dangerous this product is, but it's making billions of dollars or millions of dollars. I mean, the sanitary napkin market just in the United States alone is I wrote it down, 4.72 billion with a B. Worldwide is 26.9 billion with a B.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
Okay, so now when you say the overall health, and you mentioned 4 or 5 different things, some people mentioned in the chat, toilet tissue, the clothing that you wear, of course, sanitary napkins, tampons, and so are we also talking about hair care products?
Hair care products, what you're putting on your skin, what type of lotion you're putting on. You know, we got to start thinking about all of that.
Cleaning products also?
Cleaning products.
How about air fresheners?
All of that.
Okay,
yep.
So that aids to it then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so not only are you talking about the women's health and feminine products, you're talking about women's health basically in general.
Yeah, because everything is connected. It's like you make one switch, and I know sometimes it can be overwhelming. You know, it's just like,
that's why
let me just kind of do one thing at a time. You know, so even if you're making little baby steps, you know, just work. You know, okay, I'm going to kind of change this and this. Okay, then I'm gonna work on this and this later. You know, I'm not saying you have to make all these changes at one time, because that can be overwhelming and it can get expensive, because we all know that things that are healthier are more expensive.
That's done on purpose.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, you do what you can, and you know, you make these switches here and there. At first, you know, you kind of, some people got to kind of inch along and do things in stages. You know, some people can be like, oh, I'm gonna just do everything at once. Some people got to do things in stages. So,
Right.
you know, whatever works for you, but, you know, you want to just try to kind of make those steps along the way as much as possible, because
Right.
there's just, it's a lot. And I'm just like, I kind of look at this stuff and I'm like, why are these, it's just crazy how these people are allowed to operate and do what they do. But money is the driver.
Oh, okay.
You know, health is on the back burner.
All right, cool. So do me a favor, as we get out of here, give the people your information, how to contact you, what website to go to. Let them know what you speak on when you do come to speak. Just let them know you're available, give them your information in case they want to contact you.
Want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Once this airs, please share this video, because one share can save a life. Again, my name is Tiarra Moore. My website is saveourjewels.com. I can be found on Facebook and Instagram at Save Our Jewels. And I can speak on just on hygiene in general. I could talk about making healthier choices, you know, just making how we can just make small product switches. Anything you want me to, you know, discuss, you know, women's health and wellness. We can get into nutrition. I'm linked with a very, very knowledgeable nutritionist. We can come and talk about, you know, healthy eating and how we can do it on a budget. So, you know, just reach out. Also, my email address is Tiarra, Tiarra, at saveourjewels.com. So I'm going to say that again. Tiarra, Tiarra, at saveourjewels.com. So you can message me on Instagram. You can also message me through email. I also have a link on my website too that you can email me through as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
One last question. I have it written down, but I don't know how it escaped me. Do you get called in by sisters that are in sister circles in the church? Do you get called in by sororities? I mean, that's
not much, not as much as I would like.
How about the Girl Scouts? What the hell? I mean, no.
No.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we do.
We have a lot of work to do.
Right. I really appreciate you for coming on. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for having me.
I'm glad you made it happen real quick, because a lot of times people take weeks and months to get back in touch with one another. My wife would tell you, I'm one of them. Let's do it now.
Yeah.
Individuals. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you very much for coming on and giving us these jewels to save the jewels.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Give thanks. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good night.
All right. Take care. All right, fam. This is Professor Griffin. This is Sirius Mindz RNTV. Of course, that was Miss Tiarra Moore talking about women's health and feminine products. If you're in the New York area, I'm going to invite you out to Brooklyn. This is the event that myself, Soleil, Black Dot, and my man Wizard KG from the Bomb Squad, and I have a very, very special guest. She said it's cool to let people know that she's gonna be in the building. Now Ruby Selah is gonna be in the building. All right. So make sure you'll meet us out on Sunday. The flyer is going to be in on my Facebook page and on my Instagram page. All right. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can pull the flyer up right now. Hold on, fam. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, fam. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find this flyer. Hold on 1 second, fam. I think I can add the flyer. Nope. Let me see. Add a file. Let me see if I have the flyer somewhere. All right. If I can't find the flyer, I'll make sure I have it up on the next show. But hit me up 678-557-2919. I will definitely get the flyer up, and I can actually send you the flyer via email. All right. I can actually send you the flyer via email. That's August 13th. All right, we're going to be talking about sound vibration. We're going to talk about music and how we use music, the sacred sound, to heal, to study, to do whatever we need to do to defend ourselves, all right, against the 440 frequency. We need to know how that works. Black Dot is going to come through and speak and say a few words. Of course, Soleil is going to do the introduction. And then the next day, Soleil is having something strictly for the women. All right, now this is in Brooklyn. All right. Soleil is doing something strictly for the women. You can contact Soleil at Miss Soleil on IG for that. All right, if Soleil, if you're still on, can you give us your IG page where they can contact you? Of course, you can contact me at 678-557-2919. That's 678-557-2919. I'll send you the flyer for Brooklyn. Now, do me a favor, fam. Save this date I'm about to give you. May 18th. All right, after the Malcolm X Day celebration in the park at Malcolm X Park in Atlanta. We're doing an after set. Myself, Minister Server from BDP, from the Temple of Hip Hop, Paradise Gray from X-Clan, and your brother Professor Griff from Public Enemy. We're calling this thing Higher Infinite Power, Healing Our People, 3 to God Way. 3 to God Way, right here in Atlanta. The first time we're doing it. Save the date, May 18th, right here in the ATL. It's gonna be off the hinges, fam. All right, now check this out. All 3 of us are doing a DJ set, so make sure y'all are in the building. Make sure y'all are in the building. May 8th. That's your birthday, Quan? Oh man, I think that's Sean Carter's birthday, also. All right, damn, Sherb, that's your birthday too. Dang. That's my sister Sherby's birthday. It's Quan's birthday, Sean Carter's birthday, and they're celebrating Malcolm X's born day that weekend. So, hey, it's a lot going on. It's a lot of energy that's happening that day. So, Quan, meet my sister Sherby. Sherby, meet Quan. Y'all got the same birthday. I don't know where y'all go, where you gonna be, Quan, but Sherby's right here in the ATL. If y'all want to come through, the vegan birthday cake is on me. I got y'all. Anyway, all right. Okay, so yeah, fam. Thank y'all very much. Save the date, May 18th, 3 to God Way. High Infinite Power, Healing Our People, right here. Myself, Minister Server, Paradise Gray, right here in the ATL. And if you're in Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Suffolk County, Nassau County, if you even Mount Vernon, Yonkers, if you right over in Jersey, if you want to come up from Philly, all right, April 13th and April 14th are the dates you need to be there. All right, cool. This is Professor Griff. I got to get out of here. I love y'all to life. Thank y'all for rocking with me, and thank y'all for showing up for my first day back on the job. All right, love y'all to life. Peace. All right, Miss Tiarra Moore, do your thing out there. All right, peace.